every kiss a sharpened throne. You wore innocence like armor, a halo tilted just enough. Saying in public, devil in whispers, calling cruelty love. Your crown was forged in silence, mine in shattered pride to rulers in a kingdom where mercy never survived. Re-rolled with knives behind our smiles and cold, the bleeding loyalty. Welcome to the broken halo dynasty, where angels learn to scheme, where love becomes a battlefield and mercy's just a dream. In the broken halo dynasty, we bow with poison grace, kissing crowns made out of thorns while tearing at each other's face. You crown me king of second chances, just to watch me kneel again. Every apology you offered came wrapped in subtle venom. Your words were velvet daggers, soft enough to hide the blade. Every time I thought I won you, you changed the rules we played. We danced across the marble floors of lies too proud to fall. Tell marks trapped together inside a gilded war. We swore the throne was built for two, but only one could break the welcome to the broken halo dynasty, where angels learn to bleed, where loyalty is currency and pain is all we feed. In the broken halo dynasty, our crowns begin to rust, to saints that turn to tyrants because we couldn't trust. Long live the kings of sorrow, long live the queens of blame. Every empire dies the same underneath the weight of pride, not by swords or foreign kings, but by the rod we hide. We carved our names in marble with jealousy and flame, but every crown we worshipped was just another chain. If love was our religion, then hatred was the priest, and every sacred promise became a dying song. Bow down! Fight back! Two hearts wearing crowns of cracks. Bow down! Fight back! Love was never built to last. This is the broken halo dynasty, where every angel falls, where lovers become enemies inside cathedral walls. The broken halo dynasty collapsing in the night, two rulers left in ruin, still claiming they were right. No kingdom left to conquer, no throne left to defend. Just ashes on the altar of a love that wouldn't end. We built our crowns from broken glass, shards of pride and jealousy. Every word we ever spoke turned into a rivalry. Your throne was made of silence, mine of sharpened doubt. We ruled a dying kingdom, too stubborn to walk out. You called it love and loyalty, I called it survival. Two emperors of bitterness, locked inside denial. Every battle left a scar, but neither one would yield. We just a cage? What if the throne is pain? What if the war we keep alive is something we sustain? We sharpen every memory until it cuts too deep, guarding every wound we have like treasure we must keep. But empires fall eventually, and kings return to bone, and all the wars we fought for love will leave us here alone. Bring to the throne of flame, bow to the crown of scars. Two kings inside a ruined heart, still waging endless wars. We are the kings of misery, rulers of the night, bleeding for a kingdom neither one can keep inside. Kings of misery, crowned in silent screams, two shadows in a broken world, built from shattered dreams. No victory, no surrender, just two kings in ruins, fighting forever. We started like a promise, soft whispers in the dark, two fragile hearts colliding, two sparks inside the spark. Your fingers traced my secrets like maps across my skin. You swore you'd guard them gently, but war was growing in. The kisses turned to questions, the questions turned to blame. Every word between us started carrying a flame. Love was once a shelter, now it's ammunition. We are lovers turned weapons, loaded with regret. Every word a bullet, every glance a threat. Lovers turned weapons, cutting deep and slow. We learned every weakness just to strike the blow. You memorized my fractures, every fragile place, the trembling in my breathing, the cracks inside my face. I did the same to you, like thieves inside your mind, cataloging your softness for battle still to find. And when the night grew heavy and silence filled the room, we sharpened every memory like knives of quiet doom. The love that made us fearless now teaches us to. We are lovers turned weapons, fighting skin to skin. Every scar we carry is a war we couldn't win. Lovers turned weapons, burning in the dark. Two hearts pulling triggers on the others. Fragile heart. We know where to aim, we know where it hurts. What a cruel kind of knowledge to know someone this well, to hold their deepest wounds and turn them into hell. You know the things I fear, the ghosts I try to hide, the fragile little places where my defenses died. And I know yours too. You're trembling in shame. Too never stands alone. Your voice drifts like accusation. Mine answers with a flame. Every night becomes a trial in the court of broken names. We rewrite every memory to make the other fall, building walls of arguments inside these crumbling halls. Truth is buried under pride, and neither one will move. Welcome to the throne of blame, where every scar's a crime, where love becomes a courtroom, and guilt rewrites the time, sitting on the throne of blame. We sharpen every line, two kings without a kingdom, still too proud to die. Your apologies are daggers wrapped in velvet tone. Every tear you offer feels rehearsed and overthrown. I answer with my silence, like poison in the air. We're masters of destruction, disguised as if we care. Every broken promise is a weapon we retrieve, digging up the past again just so we can grieve. If someone must be guilty, then no one has to heal. Welcome to the throne of blame, where mercy never grows, where every fragile memory is something we expose, sitting on the throne of blame, counting every scar to rulers of resentment who forgot who we are. No surrender, no forgiveness. What if love was never meant to stand inside a war? What if all this pride we guard is poison at the core? We keep defending shadows of a past we can't restore, while every fight we win tonight leaves something dying more. Maybe truth is buried under every word we say, and maybe we just crown ourselves so we don't walk away. Blame me, I'll blame you. Build another kingdom out of broken truth. Blame me, I'll blame you. Neither one of us knows what love should do. This is the throne of blame, where love begins to rot, where every fragile promise turns into a knot, sitting on the throne of blame, watching empires fall to kings of accusation with nothing left at all. The throne is made of ashes, the crown is made of scars, and somewhere in the silence we forgot who we were. You walk into the room like sunlight, every shadow turns your way. Golden smile, velvet silence, you don't even have to say. Every word you drop is honey, every glance a quiet command. I learned to kneel before I noticed you were ruling where I stand. Your halo tilts just slightly crooked, but no one dares to see how soft devotion slowly turns to quiet tyranny. Your love feels like salvation, but it chains me all the same. You're a beautiful tyrant, crowned in velvet light. Every gentle whisper turns surrender into right. Beautiful tyrant, ruler of my breath. Every kiss you give me feels like mercy dressed as death. but it cuts like glass. Maybe I mistook your one for something that was true. Maybe every chain I wear was something I gave you. Or maybe power looks like this, a smile hiding steel, a lover who decides the truth before the wounds can heal. And maybe I keep kneeling because I fear the day I see the throne for what it is and finally walk away. Bow to beauty, bow to grace, bow to the ruler in your face. Bow to silence, bow to charm. Love has never looked so warm. You're a beautiful tyrant, but the crown begins to crack. Every empire built on control eventually turns back. Beautiful tyrant, your kingdom starts to shake because the heart you tried to rule is finally going to break. Your throne was made of admiration, but every tyrant learns the same. Admiration can become rebellion. We signed a treaty with a kiss, two flags inside of one flame. Swore allegiance to forever, but forever changed its name. You said love was holy ground, a sanctuary from the fight, but every vow we ever made turned into another night of interrogation whispers in the dim and restless room, where every soft confession carried echoes of our doom. We called it passion, but it felt like siege. Love is a war crime written on our the blade slides. This is cutthroat romance, danger dressed in lies, where every warm embrace is a duel we must face. Cutthroat romance, love sharp as broken glass, two sinners in devotion, watching tenderness collapse. Post up, sharp love. What a cruel addiction to crave the very pain of someone who can ruin you and kiss you just the same. We gamble with our feelings like outlaws in the dark. Every scar we leave behind just adds another mark. But neither one escapes the damage that we start, because the blade we hold tonight is buried in our hearts. Cut the trust, cut the truth. Love was never bulletproof. Cut the silence, cut the night. Turn affection into fight. This is cutthroat romance, where angels lose their grace, where lovers turn to predators in passion's dark embrace. Cutthroat romance, no mercy in the flame. Two hearts addicted to a beautiful kind of pain. We call it love to make it sound divine. But every kiss we share walks a razor line. You walk in like a wildfire, red lips, reckless grin. Every room you enter feels the chaos settling in. Your laughter sparks the matches, your silence fans the flame. Every heart that gets too close learns the danger of your name. Perfume smells like gasoline, sweet and volatile. You kiss like pure destruction, dressed in something fragile. You don't start the fires, you just love to watch them grow. You're the queen of gasoline, dancing in the blaze. Every heart around you, just another spark to raise. Queen of gasoline, beautiful and mean. You don't need a weapon, you just pour the kerosene. stronger, like iron in the flame. But every night we fought the darkness and forgot each other's name. Your words fell like thunder, breaking through my skin. Every promise turned to pressure, every touch a silence in. We kept calling it devotion, like suffering proved it true. But every tear between us was another shade of blue. If pain means loyalty, then we must be royalty. So crown me in bruises, place the thoughts in my head. If love is meant to hurt like this, then let the kingdom bleed. Crown me in bruises, let the whole world say the price of loving someone who refuses to set me free. Refuse to set me free. Your apologies were rainstorms, washing blood into the floor. Every vow of change you whispered felt like echoes from before. I kept kneeling in the wreckage, calling heartbreak sacred ground. Like the louder that we shattered, the more holy it would sound. We built temples out of damage, prayed to gods of jealousy. Every scar became a relic of this twisted loyalty. If suffering is proof, then we must be sane. So crown me in bruises, let the purple be my gold. Every wound a shining jewel in the lies we always told. Crown me in bruises, let the thorns run deep. If love demands this sacrifice, then take the blood I keep. Bow down to the broken crown. But maybe love was never meant to feel like constant war. Maybe hearts aren't meant to kneel on someone else's floor. Maybe every bruise we wear is not a badge of grace, but proof that we mistook control for love we couldn't face. And maybe crowns of suffering were never meant to shine. Maybe pain is just a prison dressed as something divine. Bruises for the crown, bruises for the throne. Love was never mercy, love was never home. Bruises on the skin, bruises in the soul. We called it dedication, but it swallowed us whole. Don't crown me in bruises, I'm tearing off the throne. If love demands destruction, I would rather stand alone. No crying up bruises, no throwing from pain. I'd rather lose the kingdom than wear those chains again. The crown falls to the ground, and for the first time, my head finally feels free. You walked in like a prophet with salvation in your hands. Every word you spoke sounded like a truth I'd understand. You painted golden futures on the walls inside my mind, but every promise you delivered had another lie behind. Your voice was soft persuasion, like a hymn I couldn't fight. Every story that you whispered turned my darkness into light. But kingdoms built on whispers never survive the too perfect to be real. You're the emperor of your lies, ruling over broken trust, building empires made of smoke, turning loyalty to dust. Emperor of your lies, golden throne of disguise. Every truth you ever spoke was just another alibi. I believed your evolution, your rebellion against pain, but every flag you lifted was just hiding selfish gain. You crowned yourself with virtue while you poisoned every will. Every secret you were hiding turned devotion into hell. Your promises were banners flying high above the crowd, but underneath the fabric every vow was disavowed. Every crown you claimed was stolen from the truth. You're the emperor of your lies, every subject left betrayed. All the castles that you built are already starting to fade. Emperor of your lies, master of disguise. Every tear you made me cry only widened your empire's size. Long live the king of broken face. Did you believe your stories, or were they always war? 1,000 silver tongues behind a single door. You called it destiny, you called it fate and fire, but every throne you built was balanced on a wire. And when the truth arrives like thunder in the night, the crown begins to tremble under honest lie. Crown of fraud, throne of dust, words like daggers, rusting trust. King of mask, king of fear, your empire ends right here. You're the emperor of your lies, but the kingdom's falling fast. Every secret you protected is a ghost from your past. Emperor of your lies, hear the people rise. Every lie you ruled with now collapses in your life. Your throne is made of echoes, and silence is the only crown you wear. Ballroom lights were dim and golden, like the calm before the fall. Your hand reached out so gently, while the shadows lined the wall. The violins were trembling with a melody so slow. Every step felt like a promise I was never meant to know. Your smile held a secret hidden deep behind your eyes, and every turn you pulled me through was wrapped in velvet lies. We danced like fragile lovers, like the night would never end, but every graceful Whispers brush my ear like a ghost inside a dream. Every word you spoke sounded sweeter than it seemed. The crowd around us vanished as the tempo slowly grew. But the closer that you held me, the less I recognized you. A stranger in familiar skin, a smile carved in stone. The warmth I thought I felt from you was colder than alone. The music kept on rising while the truth began to show. Every elegant rotation led to one final blow. Spin me slowly, break me clean. Love was never what it seemed. This is the betrayal waltz. Hear the shattered glass. Every step another memory fading as we pass. Betrayal waltz. In the candlelight, you held me close while killing every truth inside the night. Bow your head, take your role. Let the heartbreak take control. Was the dance just an illusion, choreographed from the start? Were your arms around my body, just a cage around my heart? Maybe love was just a rhythm we pretended to obey, while betrayal wrote the music for the steps we couldn't say. And the orchestra keeps playing, though the dances disappear, because heartbreak loves the stage and tragedy loves the tear. Step, turn, trust, burn. Step, spin, let betrayal win. This is the betrayal waltz, the last dance we perform. Every promise slowly dying in the center of the storm. Betrayal waltz, hear the violins fall. The music stops forever, but the silence says it all. The ballroom finally empties. The echoes of our footsteps still circle through the hall. You build your throne on broken promises, mortar made of fear. Every crown you ever handed out was sharpened like a spear. The walls were made of silence, every window sealed with doubt. And anyone who questioned you was slowly casted out. You called it sacred order, you called it righteous rule, but every law you forced on us was written just to fool. Your banners flew like warnings across the poison sky, but every flag of loyalty was another hidden lie. We knelt for far too long in shadows of your reign. So burn the kingdom down, let the ashes touch the sky. Every tower built on lies deserves the flames tonight. Burn the kingdom down, let the fire roar and rise. No more crowns of tyranny, no more rulers in disguise. silence, like ghosts without a name, guarding every secret, feeding every flame. The palace halls were golden, but rotten at the core. Every whisper in the dark was louder than before. We watched the cracks grow wider in every painted wall, and every throne of power was waiting for the fall. You thought your rule eternal, your empire carved in stone, but even mountains crumble when truth is overthrown. The chains begin to break. The fire finds the ground. So burn the kingdom down. Let the tyrants feel the heat. Every crown that crushed us all will melt beneath our feet. Burn the kingdom down. Watch the towers collapse. Every lie you built your world on finally snaps. Let it burn. Let it fall. We were never yours at all. Maybe kingdoms were illusions painted bright to hide control. Maybe every royal promise was a cage around the soul. Maybe power loves the silence of a people too afraid. But tonight the quiet shatters and the price will now be paid. Hear the thunder of rebellion, feel the ground beneath you shake. Because every throne of arrogance is one spark from its break. Fire in the sky, fire in the streets, ashes of your empire falling at our feet. Crowns in the flames, walls in the dust, kings of deception, drums in the round. We'll burn the kingdom down until the smoke is all that's left. Every throne that stole our voices will finally know regret. Burn the kingdom down, let a new world rise again from the ashes of the tyrants and the ruins of their crown melts in the fire, and the night finally belongs to us. You walk in with a thunderstorm burning in your eyes. Every word between us now feels weaponized. Your silence cuts like broken glass across the room tonight. We're standing on a battlefield, pretending it's a fight. Your fingers brush my wrist again like sparks against a flame. Every touch feels dangerous, but I still say your name. The tension fills the empty space like lightning in the dark. Every heartbeat in my chest is begging for the spark. We're poison and devotion, all tangled in between. So kiss me like you hate me, like love is just a crime, like every second that we touch is borrowed time. Kiss me like you hate me, like fury in disguise, like every broken promise still lives inside your eyes. Your breath is close enough to burn my skin into a scar. Every step you take toward me reminds me who we are. A war we never finished, a love we couldn't save. Maybe every memory was destined just to fade, but the gravity between us keeps pulling us again, like scars that never close, or storms that never end. And every kiss we steal tonight feels violent and divine, a war disguised as passion on the edge of every line. Fight the silence, break the code, love's a trigger, pull the heart, burn the moment, lose control, hate and hunger, one same soul. So kiss me like you hate me, like it's the final war, like everything between us is worth fighting for. Kiss me like you hate me, like the world might disappear, like every scar we carry brought us trembling here. Your lips taste like forgiveness, but your eyes still promise another war. Golden crowns and candlelight, diamonds hiding rust. Every oath inside this palace built on greed and dust. Silk and velvet cover lies, perfume hides decay. Every noble smile tonight is one knife away. The banquet table overflows with wine as dark as sin, but every glass raised in the hall hides poison deep within. The orchestra keeps playing like nothing's going wrong, while whispers move like serpents through the corridors of song. Kings and queens in fragile grace, smiling face to face. Welcome to the royal bloodbath, where crowns begin to fall. Every throne of betrayal crumbles in the hall. Royal bloodbath, hear the courtiers scream. The kingdom built on treason drowns inside its schemes. A dagger slips through velvet, a shadow in the flame. One by one the noble masks forget their noble name. The prince becomes a traitor, the queen becomes a ghost. Every loyal vow tonight means nothing to the host. Blood stains marble floors where roses once were thrown. Every servant in the palace knows the king stands alone. The torches start to flicker, the music twists and bends, because every royal story eventually must end. Power breeds the blade, trust begins to fade. Welcome to the royal bloodbath, the palace turns to war. Every crown of arrogance is shattered on the floor. Royal bloodbath, watch the empire drown. The throne becomes a grave tonight for everyone in crowns. Gold turns red, steel turns cold. Loyalty is bought and sold. Maybe kingdoms were illusions built to feed the throne. Maybe every crown was meant to rule the world alone. Maybe power poisons slowly every heart it owns, until the royal family devours flesh and bones, and the banners fall And this is the royal bloodbath, the last court of the damned. Every ruler's legacy, dying by their hand. Royal bloodbath, let the palace burn. The kingdom that devoured us finally takes its The throne sits empty, but the blood still remembers who ruled here. Portraits stare from shattered walls, eyes that never blink. Generations dressed in gold, drowning slowly in the brink. Marble halls remember screams, buried under praise. Every heir that wore the crown inherited the maze. The throne was carved from arrogance, polished bright with lies. A monument to power and 1,000 silent cries. Every ruler swore their reign would outlast time itself, but dust collects on every crown, left forgotten on the shelf. The bloodline stains the floor. The ghosts begin to wake. Welcome to the dynasty. And the empire rots away. Every crown passed down through time carries one more grave. Dynasty of decay. Hear the ancient echoes say. Every king who ruled with fear eventually will fade. The royal gardens turn to thorns, the fountains filled with rust. Every promise carved in stone slowly crumbled into dust. The airs parade through candlelight like actors on a stage, reciting vows of loyalty written in a cage. Behind their jeweled titles, behind their flawless names, every noble heart is chained to centuries of shame. The banners still are waving, but the wind no longer cares, because the weight of history is heavier than theirs. For a bloodline cracks again, the legacy will break. This is the dynasty of decay, where the thrones collapse in gray. Every palace built on bones falls apart someday. Dynasty of decay, watch the empire drift away. Every crown of hollow glory turns to rust and clay. Ash to gold, gold to dust. Power fades, kings corrupt. Ash to gold, gold to dust. Power fades, kings corrupt. What if crowns were never sacred, just illusions made to rule? What if every royal legend was a carefully crafted tool to convince the world that power flows through chosen veins, while the truth was always buried under centuries of chains? Now the statues start to crumble and the bloodline starts to crack, because every throne that rose in pride will someday turn to black. Break the bloodline, break the throne, let the empire face its blow. Shatter crowns, kill the lie. Watch the ancient kingdom die. This is the dynasty of decay. The final has lost the way. Every Trumpets cry through cathedral stone, silver bells proclaim the throne, velvet banners line the aisle, hiding daggers all the while. Nobles bow with hollow grace, smiles carved upon each face, but every oath that fills the air carries whispers of despair. A chalice waits beside the crown, crystal clear yet dragging down. Every drop a silent thread, paid in blood and old regret. The kingdom cheers the rising king, blind to what the night will bring. For every crown that shines so bright was sharpened in the dark of night. Golden robes, a sacred vow, but death is walking with him now. This is the poison coronation, a throne baptized in lies, where power tastes like venom and loyalty slowly dies. Poison coronation, hear the bells of fate resound. A kingdom kneels in worship as the poison takes the crown. The priest recites forgotten prayers while shadows gather on the stairs. The royal court in silence waits, guarding secrets, sealing fates. A trembling hand lifts up the cup, the roaring crowd erupts, but in the depths of crimson wine sleeps a perfect alibi. The crown descends upon his head, heavy with the royal dead. Every ruler long before left their ghosts behind the door. Now the kingdom holds its breath as the throne prepares for death. For power built through fear and greed always plants a fatal seed. Sacred rites begin to fade as destiny reveals the blade. This is the poison coronation, the ceremony of the damned. A ruler crowned by treason, with death inside his hand. Poison coronation, hear the people start to cry. The king who rose in glory now prepares himself to die. Crowns fall slowly, kings collapse. hearts with sharpened tongues, promising forever young. Your smile hit a loaded gun, every kiss a hit and run. We built our vows on shifting sand, two grenades in lovers' hands, midnight whispers, velvet lies, war reflected in your eyes. Every promise softly swung came back rusted, twisted, torn. Still we danced inside the flames, addicted to each other's pain, like moths that knew the fire was real, but love the way the burning feels. We raised our flags, we drew the lines, two hearts marching to the front lines. This is love with no survivors, no mercy left to give. We tore each other open just to prove that we could live. No survivors in this story, no heroes, no escape, just two lovers in the ruins of the war we chose to make. Your touch was gasoline on skin, every fight pulled deeper in. You said love was sacrifice, but you meant another knife, broken plates across the floor, words we can't take back anymore. Every silence screams so loud, drowning out the sacred vows. We crowned each other king and queen of a wreckage in between. Every throne we tried to claim collapsed beneath the weight of blame. Yet somehow in the darkest hour we still believed in dying flowers, calling poison something sweet, while bleeding at each other's fate. We pulled the trigger, kissed the gun, and swore the worst was yet to come. This is love with no survivors, a battlefield of scars, where every kiss was shrapnel and every touch was war. No survivors in this story, no mercy in the end, just two hearts that kept on breaking until they couldn't mend. Raise the white flag, watch it burn. Love was something we couldn't learn. Maybe once we were innocent, two souls reaching through the dark, but somewhere in the crossfire we extinguished every spark. You said love should conquer all, but conquest leaves the body's toll. Stacked between our final breath, a monument to mutual death. And if the world remembers us, it won't be for the love we had, but for the beautiful destruction of the best thing we once had. No surrender or retreat, two hearts dying to defeat. Love was war from the start, and the battlefield was our heart. This is love with no survivors, no angels left to blame. We burned the world between us just to feed the flames. No survivors in this story, only ashes left behind. Two lovers lost forever in a war we call divine. The smoke clears, two shadows fall, and love kills them both. The ballroom echoes with broken glass, golden ages couldn't last, velvet curtains torn apart, a kingdom bleeding from the heart. Your crown once blazed like holy fire, now it rusts in cold desire. throne belongs to no one now. Morning crawls through shattered glass, smoke where golden banners passed. The palace walls are black with scars, a graveyard lit by dying stars. The crown lies buried in the dust, silver bones consumed by rust. All the power that we claimed turned to whispers in the flames. The throne room, once a sacred hall, now echoes like an empty call. Our shadows stretch across the floor, rulers that exist no more. We built a kingdom out of pride, let the fire grow inside. Now the empire that we made sleeps beneath the grave of gray. No choir left to sing our reign, no crown that can survive the flame. Welcome to the ash throne, where all blitzes hide. A kingdom made of cinders beneath our broken feet. The ash throne, where the crown dissolves to dust. Power turns to silence and glory turns to rust. Statues cracked with hollow eyes, watching empires slowly die. Every lie we ever told turned the palace dark and cold. Your name carved into marble stone now echoes through the undertone, like a ghost that won't release. The war that never brought us peace. Our love was lightning in the sky, beautiful but meant to die. We mistook the burn for light and fed the hunger of the fight. Now the smoke begins to clear, nothing left of what was here, just the ruins of a vow and a throne of ashes now. The crown was heavy, sharp and cursed. Power only feeds the worst. Welcome to the ash throne, where the empire breathes its last. The kings and queens of tragedy are relics of the past. The ash throne, no banners left to raise, just the quiet aftermath of love that turned to blaze. Ashes falling, ashes rain, silent king.